What's up, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm back with, yes, another knee-jerk reaction review. And this one's going to be more in line with our other ones. You know, short and sweet. Not like our last one, Halloween Kills, where we had more than just me. Or usually, sometimes it's just me, or it's just Rodney, or maybe us two together. We also had Tyler on board, too. So we had the trio going, and you know, it's Halloween Kills. Come on, guys. You know how big of a fan I am of this franchise. I kind of wanted to dive a little deeper and have a little bit more of a fleshed out review, given the source material. But this one is on the movie Censor. And this is a movie that had my sensors on overload because I was trying to figure out what the overall consensus was of it. Not that I need that going into a movie, but I'm always kind of curious. I don't let it really fuck with my expectations. My expectations are always tempered unless, of course, it is like Halloween or something. Candyman, anybody? But this one was interesting because like I said, my sensors were on overdrive because I was like, I can't get a feel on this one. One side of the fence is like, this movie is a disaster piece. It's horrible. I guess not a disaster piece, because that's more in line with a movie that sucks so bad that it's good. No, people are just shitting all over this movie. Other side of the fence were like, best horror movie of the year. So I was interested in what I was in for. And judging by that, I was like, I pretty much think I know what I'm in for. And I was correct. You know, the style that, you know, completely off-put somebody this way or completely goes this way. Art housey, anybody? Slow burn, anybody? Not necessarily a lot going on, anybody? That kind of thing. And that's what I got from this movie. The plot really interested me, though. You know, like this lady that basically is like the MPAA. She's censoring movies, saying that they can or cannot come out. She's super strict about it. When she stumbles upon this crazy video nasty that has somebody that is the lead star that looks eerily similar to her sister who disappeared years ago, who she thinks is still alive, but her parents are having none of it. Could this movie be dope? Like I said, right there, the premise, whatever you want to call it. I always say that all over the place. Is cool. Like, again, that alone sold me on this movie. I was really anxious and ready to see it for that reason. But again, I thought I knew what I was in for, and again, I was right. It is a slow burn, but it is that movie that can really pull you in. It does do that. Like, it's slow, but I was locked in from the beginning. So we at least got that going for it. Because some of these movies, some people get into, and I'm like, dude, I'm just not on board with these characters. I can't sit through the journey to see if the very end of the journey is good enough. I'm bored out of my mind. It's dull. I don't care how well it's shot. It's one of those things. This one, I can say, effectively did pull me in. It 100% did. And mainly because I've always been interested in that kind of thing. And it's kind of like a new and fresh story is like what makes people censor these movies? What makes people fucking blacklist movies? What does that? To see like through the eye of someone like that and kind of go through the motions with them was a bit interesting in a weird sort of way. But I got to tell you, by the end of it, I kind of predicted what was going to happen. I mean, you might be like, really? And be like, maybe not exactly. But I was like, this is going to go one or two ways, or this way, or maybe this way. But I think at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. I obviously won't say what's going to happen, but I nailed it. I was like, yeah, that is what I thought. So that really didn't have the surprise factor for me. And by the end of it, even though it was good, I was a little let down. I wanted it to be that like 8 out of 10, and I could see how some people are just off this movie's nuts. But I kind of oddly fell in between the spectrum. I will say I liked it, but it's not a movie I would necessarily watch ever again unless I'm on like that whim where I'm like, maybe I just didn't pull it all in exactly. You know, like one of those things, like give it another run. Because there is that interest to it, for sure. But at the end of the day, man, I can't give this more than a 6.2 out of 10. I will say it's good. I will also say this. I fell asleep during it, and that's no shortage of it being boring. I normally, like, you know, streamline my movies. I'm going from front to end, but it was a late night. Out of nowhere, my eyes were closed. I woke up, the fucking, you know, DVD menu was on or whatever. Yeah, DVD menu, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, I got to be at work in 4 hours. I can't just